Hello YouTubers. This is a response going out to ExJW, and you sent me a message with the video attached concerning Christmas, I'm sorry. And I just got home from work and I'm kind of wiped out, but I decided to do this video because there's so much stuff about Christmas out there, and this is a message for me. Um, the fight for Christmas, or the right for Christmas. Um, and this is a few things that I want to say. I fully believe that the theology of your church um, has allowed you to come to these sorts of conclusions. And yeah, there's a lot of secular studies that were done about the real Christmas and the history of Christmas, that it's a pagan holiday, and the Christmas origins, a little shady, and it causes people to, uh, you know, who are worried about that sort of thing, or feel that they need to be worried about that sort of thing, um, a little upset, or maybe they won't even have a holiday or birthdays at all. And I'm not JW, and I'm trying to wonder why your name is ExJW. Anyway, it doesn't matter what kind of religion you are. It's perfectly fine that you hold those kinds of beliefs, and I respect that, because I would hope that you would respect in kind the way I think, and you don't necessarily have to agree with it, because I don't agree with you, and that's fine. First of all, I'd like to say that the day of Christmas is set apart, or set aside, for the reflection about the birth of Christ. Most people know that Christ wasn't actually born on that day. However, they're allowed to reflect on that birth of Christ once a year. And a lot of times it's true. The Romans, after they converted to Christianity, made a lot of the pagan holidays Christian holidays, because they wanted them to reflect on the things of Christianity rather than on the things of what they called paganism. However, this doesn't stop only at Christmas and the major holidays. A lot of times, a lot of holidays, including Jewish holidays, were affected by pagan origins. And I hear a lot of modern day people complain about all this stuff, and their particular beliefs about holidays, and they don't celebrate, and the reasons why. You don't have to celebrate. However, a lot of times they believe that when they find out it's some big conspiracy that they uncover. It's a very deep thing. It's about mythology, and it's about the idea, a fact that happened, a fact that never happened. And it's kind of hard to comprehend this, a fact that never happened. It means the perfect story, or the perfect idea in your mind that takes you, that transports you, that gives you the feeling of belonging, the feeling of family. When I seen those pictures, you were with your family celebrating a holiday. It didn't have to be Christmas. It didn't have to be this. You could do it every day. You could say, "Oh, I appreciate." However, that day is set aside for that kind of celebration. And I know that the Christmas tree wasn't in the Bible. I know that, the whole idea of, Santa came from, you know, early Christian or pagan sources. That doesn't bother me at all. But it's what those ideas and memories and symbols take me to other memories in my mind, take me back to the idea of Christmas. And when people think about these holidays, they think about the perfect Christmas. Okay, for an example, what do you think about, say, well, pick another holiday, Thanksgiving? we're taught that the Pilgrims came over in the Mayflower, and a lot of that stuff is historically true. However, our concept of it has changed over the years, and it's not always the same. It continually changes, and each individual has their version of how their Thanksgiving happens, just like every person has their version of the Christmas story. And I find it fascinating that people never really take it the whole way. And I mentioned before about Judaism. The Temple of Solomon was patterned after the temples of Baal. People don't really consider that. Some Jewish holidays were placed on pagan holidays of Baal and Asherah to turn the people from the Baal worship. And Yahweh was always in competition with Baal. And there was always that struggle. So those transitions happen. Now you get reforms like the reforms of Josiah, and he totally purges the land of the Baal cults, and tries to wipe them out. However, later on they come back because it was the idea in the people's mind. Because in certain ways Yahweh was like Baal, and so it was kind of hard. So yes, in today's society, you would see a nativity scene with a Santa Claus. That doesn't bother me. However, the idea of Christmas for me is about being with family, telling people that you love them. Yeah, you're supposed to do it every day. However, this is an important day that sets aside where I don't have to work. I can come home, I can do family activities, which means the ritual. The ritual of putting up the tree, no big deal. All these bulbs that I get to put on my tree were given to me by loved ones. So when I put the bulb on the tree, I can say, oh, this is a nice bulb from Aunt Katie. And even the star, like our first star we're dirt poor, and we got it at the dollar store. That still goes on. There's a light that's out in the middle, but we still put it on. And because it creates memories, it transports us back. And that's what these holidays do. It's not about whether they were true or not, or uncovering a big conspiracy. And I find it rather annoying that more people don't understand this. It's not that you have to become disillusioned in your religion and your ideas on how things are just because you realize this. It's been going on for years and thousands of years. And every holiday, it wasn't a celebration of an actual event. It's changed in people's mind, and change is the only constant thing. Keeps changing. Ideas of the Passover changes. The whole story of like the crossing of the Red Sea was written after the exile. I mean, a lot of people might not believe that, but it was composed. Certain sections of that were, and woven together. And when you tell that to your children, Yahweh brought us out of Egypt. Elohim brought us out of Egypt. El Shaddai brought us out of Egypt. Whatever the God's name was at that time, whatever God's name was, brought them out. There's a powerful story there. They feel that they're one of the people and that they are chosen. The whole idea of circumcision. You know that you're a child of Israel when you look down, at your penis. It's very powerful, rituals and symbols and rites. Very powerful to hold people together, and it's like the glue that bonds people. And even though you say possibly that you might not celebrate holidays, there's something that you do that's ritualistic. And if we look back into the origins of those, maybe some things would be unfounded. Maybe your ideas of how that is today isn't like the ideas when they were started. They change over time, and you learn to appreciate those things. And every year, new memories added, the story changes a little bit. and then it forms something, and you end up having a collection of things in your mind about what it means to you. So it's different for everybody, and that's my Christmas. And I believe that Christmas, even if you don't want to celebrate it, whatever, other people should be allowed to. I don't believe it's a conspiracy. I don't believe that, you know, somebody was out to deceive me, in that, told me a bunch of lies that maybe it didn't really happen that way. I know it didn't happen that way. And I know a lot of stuff that we celebrate concerning the biblical text didn't happen that way. And I know that a lot of writings in the Bible, as they're told, the stories that are told, didn't exactly happen that way. Like the novellas, like the story of Joseph, the story of Ruth, things like that. These were stories that were created that made people. It could be anybody. It could be the Hindu. It could be the Islamic people. It could be something that made the people separate. When Muhammad goes into the cave, he can't read, and he comes back out with this amazing text. It's very powerful to say, yes, I'm a part of this. Or, like the Buddha. The Buddha knows something that we don't. That's why he's smiling. He knows. He's not going to tell, but he knows. So that's what I'm doing. I'm smiling because I know. So ExJW, Merry Christmas.